Hello everyone, how's it going? Dr. Incompetent here, and let's resume our play here of Stoneshard with the Rags to Riches update live and our Sorceress. Well, we finished this quest. We need to complete the first contract. I'd love to find a bottle of brandy, but they made that a little harder. The bear pelt we can buy, it's way too expensive. And it's not... we need a bison pelt and horns, which the hunter was not selling that. So instead, let's just, do what we're supposed to do and finally take that first contract. I've always liked to, if I'm playing Permadeath, level up at least once before I do this. Let's just check to see if my man has anything. He does not. Okay. I cleared out a nearby dungeon. Was there a contract tied to it? Maybe, maybe not. You know how things work. We didn't shake, so there's no obligation. But so be it. Take this as a token of my gratitude. Just make sure to pick up a contract next time. Now, this feels new. I don't remember that he would pay you for something like that. But he gave me a few coins, which I will gladly take. I didn't even think he would... Oh. I'm done with the first task. So maybe that counts. I got a perfect job. Okay, so yeah, what we did actually counted as doing the first contract. So if you don't get it, you can go clear a dungeon. I don't know if it can be any dungeon. I really don't. But it's an interesting way to kind of alternate the sequencing of the beginning portion of the game there. And what I would say is a big advantage is it lets you do it without any kind of time limit, because when you take the contract, you do have a set time limit, and this way I was able to do it and then come back. Now, I might get less rewards for having done it that way. I don't know. But anyway, he wants us to take care of Oak and Barrel Brewery, which is, yes, usually the second task here. And so I'm going to get more information out of him. So he's like, he's giving me bad information. And again, in my Let's Play, I go through all of this dialogue. I don't know how much of it the quest itself is going to change, but the way I usually do this second quest that you get from, the mayor magistrate dude here, Odar, is I would just kill everybody at the brewery. But people have always told me in the comments that you can, if you talk and do things right, make it happen a different way, but then it's going to change the circumstances here in town to a degree. So we'll see what we can do. And I already talked to J-Bar. I talked to the lumberjack guy, the carpenter man, and I can't remember exactly if he's J-Bar. That might just be the blacksmith. Anyway, carpenter man who hates this dude, Odar, and gave me the dirt and said, so I now can say, Dwar, I heard you guys weren't on good terms. Who told you this? It doesn't matter. Fine, I think I already know who it could be. It's all lies. Dwar and I had our share of disagreements, but I never held it against him. I'm curious, though. What did you hear exactly? It seems rather suspicious that your brother seized the mill so quickly after Dwar's death. That rotten yellow-bellied, once again, he twists the facts to make me look bad. As for the mill, yes, it's true. My brother has been running things since we reclaimed it. But he's a hard worker, and it was him who restored the place. Are you telling me it would be better if the mill was still abandoned? Doesn't seem like you actually need my advice. Anything else? I'm on it. Good. Find me once you're done. Alright, so he's given me a little bit of, his side of the story, but we know from the carpenter that, like, these incredibly hardworking and industrious-looking guards aren't really helping people. And, there's a bit of tension in this village. So, The guard says, thought you'd be a goner by now. He's like, wow, you survived. I know, it is impressive, right? I can fling magic spells. Alright, let me talk to this guy again. Hey, about Dwar. Dwar? What Dwar? Don't play dumb. The Dwar you mentioned yourself. Who is he and what happened to him? I never heard about any Dwars. Just mind your own business and stop sticking your nose into mine. Enough messing around. Haven't I brought you your plane? The least you can do is tell me about him. That's true, I suppose. Fine, have it your way. So about Dwar, here's what I know. Dwar was our old miller, a decent fellow, unlike Odar. After our previous elder died, we wanted Dwar to become the new one, but the higher-ups in the magistrate had different plans, so they sent us the weasel we're now stuck with. Okay, so he's not the magistrate, he's of the magistrate, and he's the elder. Or, I don't know, anyway. Odar and Dwar started picking fights with each other right from the get-go. As you can imagine, owning a mill is a profitable business and money breeds envy. A couple of months after Odar's arrival, the mill was attacked by bandits. Nothing like that had ever happened, even when the war was in full swing. In a sense, those scoundrels raided the village, and it's not like we were an easy target. At the time, we had even more guards. Let's just say the whole thing wasn't pretty. There was lots of screaming. The entire Osbrook could hear Dwar and his family being murdered. Wow. What did Odar do? Now that's where it gets interesting. Odar is a rare coward. Whenever he hears a lonely wolf howling at night, he wakes up the guards to chase the beast away. But that day, he didn't lift a finger. I remember his words. We should wait it out. We need a better strategy. Yeah, right. So anyway, the guards stayed down and let Dwar get murdered. By the end of the day, those villains left by themselves. On top of that, they didn't take anything with them other than 2 sacks of flour. They didn't torch the rest of the supplies. Just 2 days later, Odar's brother took over the mill, and he's been running it ever since. Can you guess who profits from it all? Odar, that's who. I'll leave the rest to your imagination. That was actually rather useful. Why wouldn't it be? Just don't tell Odar I said anything. Don't worry, I won't. Any news or rumors? Alright, so he doesn't like the idea of the truce. And see you later. Okay, so we got some more information. I need to find a place and liberate it, right? But can we get... We talked to him. I think there's somebody else you need to... There's something else you need to do, or somebody else you need to talk to make it so you can take a different path with the town. With the brewery, but I'm not sure. I've never done it that way. I'd kind of like to try. Just, you know, if Odar really is a scumbag, I don't want to help him. Moose antlers, okay, so he gives you information about a moose trail. I don't know if those are random or not. But anyway, we now know about that. Any questions? Yes, a couple. Okay, so you can ask more questions. What are the Stoneshard? So he gives you some more information about the Stoneshard themselves. So that's good to know. If you want to get more lore, you can come talk to him. But I've got a brewery to take care of. Let's go talk to Odar. Tell him what we know. Yeah, the carpenter's been singing songs about you, buddy. What's it going to be worth to you? Okay. Now, I think it's also worth considering that by collecting the money for the quest for the dungeon, it might be cleared out. I think this is the brewery up here. I think either along the road there is something we can find, or maybe over here. I'm not sure. Maybe it's changed since before. There was like one more piece of this puzzle. Now, if I was playing really well, I might have spent the money to rest in the inn again to get the well-rested bonus. It's not the worst idea. Now, I did go explore that, though, so I'm just going to keep following the road. I'm going to see if I can use what I know about Dwar to talk to the people at the bandit camp, or the mill, brewery. I am thirsty. How hungry am I? A little bit. All right, here we are. Here we go. Hey, don't take another step or we'll break your legs. Hold on, what's going on here? You don't look like bandits. What bandits? And who the hell are you? Why should I answer your questions? Odar, the leader, sent me to liberate this brewery from brigands. What brigands? Hey, lads, did you hear that? Turns out we're brigands. I'm a mercenary, same as you. We're here to protect the brewery from Odar's men. What are you talking about? It's a long story and I don't feel like telling it. Look, you should ask old Crom. Hey, Crom, get over here. We have visitors. What's wrong with you? Did you forget your orders? You're supposed to chase away all visitors, not chat with them. Keep listening. Just let me finish. It seems Odar hired a mercenary of his own. She's supposed to clear out brigands, meeting us, from the brewery. I see. Yeah, that sounds like Odar, all right. So you're the one he sent? That's correct. The name's Crom. I'm the owner of this place. Me and my son have been running the brewery after my father passed away. Everything was fine until that thrice-accursed Odar became Osbrook's elder. The bastard would sell even his own mother if the price was right, and I refused to give him a cut of my profits. You see what I'm getting at? At first he tried to butter me up. He suggested posting some village guards here for protection. Then he tried to send their carpenter to make repairs, for a price, of course. But why would I agree to any of that if I already have everything I need? So wait a minute. He was going to try to send the carpenter, but the carpenter doesn't like him. Now everything's adding up here. Let's think. Once he realized the carrot didn't work, he used a stick. One day I was approached by some goon who told me these are dangerous times and it'd be a shame if something happened to be in my brewery. That got me to thinking. After all, the same thing happened to Dwar, our old miller, but I'm not one to back down, so I told that goon to bugger off and hired some mercs to keep the place safe. They're professionals. That's why Odar hasn't been able to do anything so far. He can't order the guards to kill me, the rightful owner, and he can't send his gang. They are no fools and don't want to risk certain death, so I guess Odar's only option is to trick mercenaries into doing this dirty job for him. What did he promise you for liberating the brewery, huh? I wonder how much they pay for human life. Wait, Odar runs his own gang? He sure does. Well, he's not a ringleader. He just hires them for his shady deeds from time to time. Otherwise, they do whatever they please. As long as they stay away from Osbrook, that is, I'd say it's a great arrangement for anyone who stays in Odar's good graces. So tell me, how much were you promised? A cart and 2 horses. Never expected things to get this dire. Folks murdering each other over something this small. You know, and the point that he brings up is a funny one, because, like, if he didn't have a good reason for being here, we would have just killed him for a horse or 2 horses in a cart. I mean, I just cleared out an entire dungeon full of brigands, murdered about, I don't know, what, 8 people in there, for 87 crowns. So, yeah, murder is pretty cheap. Listen, how about you get rid of Odar's gang? I think I know where their hideout is. In return, I'll give you my old cart and horses. Nowadays, I don't have the luxury of leaving the brewery, so I don't need the cart anyway. As for horses, I'll buy new ones. It's a small price for peace of mind. I doubt Odar will be able to threaten us anymore without his thugs. You know what? Spare me your grievances. No, I'm going to try this. I've never done this before. I always end up killing Crom and all these guys, so let's turn the tables and see what happens. Fine. You made the right choice. All right. It's an abandoned farmstead. Oh, I see it on the map. The gang uses it as a raid camp. Once you're done, the cart's yours. I give you my word as a master brewer. Okay. I don't know what that means. Like, I give you my word as a master brewer. Like, as a master carpenter or whatever. Like, just because you can brew doesn't mean you're honest, but okay. Anyway. Hopefully this will work out for me. So you could see that the lone farmstead is right up here, conveniently situated to send a raiding party against these poor fools. But if this is an above ground fight, which I think it probably will be, we might be okay here. I mean, if you fight the brewery, it's an above ground fight, obviously. We might be okay here by just using the edge of the zone and luring guys away. Alright, what did I pick up? An acorn. So, this is not good, but I might be able to kind of cook it into something. It doesn't look like there... Well, let me see. Where is it? I saw it before, right? There's, maybe not. Oh, this is the button. Here it is. Okay, I was looking for, like, handcrafting and see if I could make any recipes by hand, but it doesn't look like I can. Okay, anyway. Can be transformed into fodder. I think you can actually... I want to say one of the things I read in the update was that you can get a mount, but I don't know if that's true or not. Okay, we're at the place. Oh, that's right. I already read that. Okay, let me get my crossbow out. Okay, here's a fence, so you can see we're getting close to it. I want to approach it from kind of like the periphery. I'm not sure where the highest concentration of bad guys is, but obviously I want to be away from that. It's ice cold. It is. We're wet. Okay, here we go. And I can't reach this guy. I'm just going to step down. He sees me. I'm going to immediately just try to get one guy, just dork here with a pitchfork, and bring him over. Great. Free shot. It looks like we have just one. Did you see what he said? That is awesome. This game's dialogue is hilarious. He says, "I wear a talisman. Magic can't hurt me." You're so right about that. Okay, let me get my ammo back. He had a little bit of money. My mana is fine. Let me reload. Okay, let's try to go up along that same vector of approach. Oh my god, we got two. Okay, that's a problem. So, remember, we're going to just head towards the exit as fast as possible. I can see if the bushes and things will break them up a bit, but I can't handle two very easily. If I can kill one and then have enough room to kite the other, we might be okay. Alright, apparently I'm a piece of filth. That hurts, dude. Okay, good. We got one guy down. He's right next to us, so he probably has an ability after I use this to charge in with his axe and hit us. He does, but we're going to use our ability, and he dies. You know what? I was running, but I have to think about the ordering of the moves. We're okay. We got hit. But I should have switched, because it takes a turn to switch your weapon from your range to your melee, and I was going to need to beat him with my my quarterstaff at that point. So the calculus is one turn to fireball, one turn to use Ring of Fire, and then start hitting with the staff. However, because of the way that the pathing worked, he was able to catch up to me, and I didn't have a free act. Like, I needed him to be basically here, so I could have shot him, and then he closes the distance here. My fire barrage is still on cooldown, can't use it. I switch to my quarterstaff, then he moves in here, and then I ring and fire, and then hit him without, giving him an extra free round, basically. But he had that ability to drag me in, and it didn't end up mattering, but, just kind of like figuring out how to optimize. And I think somebody mentioned this, which is like, why do I bother using the crossbow? And that's a good question. If you don't want to waste that turn, you can just use your quarterstaff instead. But because the crossbow has one more range than fire barrage, it allows me at range to fire a shot. If I hit, it does 18 damage, which is a ton. And then, or somewhere around that, right? Then I can do this when he moves one square closer, and then start running. So it just gives you like an extra bit of juice at max range, and is very, very useful if you have two enemies and you need to burn one down quickly. But once they start gaining on you, you want to keep your distance as much as possible. It takes a turn to reload, and it takes a turn to switch weapons. So it's kind of up to you if you want to use the crossbow. I could totally see not using it. I just like having that shot. It also gives you information where it's like, if you miss with the crossbow shot, or if you hit, it can dramatically change what your options look like. Where if I hit, I feel much more confident in trying to stay and finish the job, whereas if I miss, it might be like, okay, I just need to run away, and that can give you a little bit more insight, as opposed to if you have the quarterstaff, and then you realize you need to make a new decision, but they're adjacent to you, and you have less options. or you're going to get an attack of opportunity if you try to break away. Even with disengage, you could still get hit. So we need to open up ourselves. We got hit on the hand. We're just going to use this bandage here to take care of the bleeding. Honestly, we're fine. I'll use the ointment to heal up a bit, but we're okay. My crossbow is loaded. I'll pick up his axe for now. I don't plan on keeping this. Oh, they had a pouch. Let me just merge this with this and merge this with that. Okay, cool. So, again, we'll start to just drop stuff. I'm going to eat that beet. And anything else that I want to eat? The nettle makes you thirsty, but it does help with health restoration, as you can see, so that's cool. All right, I'm going to keep going up here. I'm just going to see if... I don't really want your club. I want my bolts back. What am I down to? 10 bolts? That's okay. Let me get some bolts. If I'm playing a range class, normally I carry way more bolts, but I really only fire like one shot per enemy. So it's not as urgent. Okay, let's kind of slip in here. We've discovered the location. We can try to cook at their pot. Okay, somebody saw us. Let's start moving back. And they're at the edge of our vision. I'll just wait and see how many we get. Okay. Again, I want to pull them back. They're not at least the way that Stoneshard used to be. I don't know if it's changed. You guys can tell me if your mileage varies. Enemies never lose interest in you on the screen, and sometimes they will follow you through to the next screen depending on how close they are to the edge when you leave. So I'm not worried about having this guy de-aggro when he's just a question mark. He saw me, he's coming after me, but I want to make sure I don't get anybody else if I can. And I also like to be, like, before I start the fight, I need to give myself enough runway, but I want to be close enough to the edge so we can... Oh yeah, we got two. You see the second question mark? So I can bail if need be. Okay, we missed, which is sad. Okay, that guy tried to heal himself, which is not welcome at all. Okay, he's dead. And we have this jerk with a spear left, which I'm not excited to see. The magic is overwhelming, she says, but I don't see the effect of... Like, I didn't see that we had a misfire or a backfire or whatever. Alright, so this guy can hit us now. Okay. So we were never going to get to use Ring of Fire on him because he would never come in that close, most probably. But we still won. I'm just going to use this there. Okay. And we got a roasted drumstick. How about that? Let me go ahead and reload immediately. Alright, so we've killed 4 guys. How much does that sell for? This sells for 35. That's garbage. For how big that is, it's not worth it. This sells for 36, which it's so much smaller. And remember, we're not even going to get close to that, because at least as it used to be, there's so many weapons around because of the war that they have almost no value. We're better off just selling flowers and herbs. Okay. I'm gonna pick up this lentil and just see if I can cook anything with this stuff. Alright, let me see if there's anybody else who wants to fight in here. I don't see anyone. We're gonna have to go inside the house, I imagine. But let me just clear this out up here. I don't see anybody. There's some earrings, which, you know, normally I take this, but I haven't found anybody who actually will buy it, which is not great. Okay. Lentil. We need water, so I guess I could put water in this. Lentils, vegetable. Pot of water and a vegetable makes gruel. Alright, so we could try to make peasant stew. So, what do I have? I have mushroom. I have mushroom. I guess this is going to probably like make mushroom salad or something. Lentil. And, what if I do that? No. Okay. No, I need some... I need an actual vegetable. This is an herb, but not... I feel like... maybe I'm just thinking about lentils wrong. I kind of thought, like, you know, lentils are like little bean guys, not really like herbs, but maybe I'm just not imagining it right. Like, if I have lentil soup, it's little... Well, maybe they just mean it's not a main ingredient. Anyway, let's go ahead... Oh, we can look at this barrel. Oh, there's a worn light cloak. That sells for nothing. Okay. Alright, the last thing we need to do then is go in the house. I'm actually going to switch to my quarterstaff because I don't know how much space I'm going to have in here. Oh. No bad guys. We got a smudged note. It's generously dotted with splotches of grease and childishly large letters. Do you know what you want? But until Odar pay at least 1,000 crowns, I won't set foot in that brewery. Did you see his guards? They will gut us in moments. Let Crom and Odar fight it out themselves. It's not worth it, mark my words. Greg. Oh, Greg. Okay, that's locked. And they are guarding a bucket. Alright, I'm going to try to use my lockpicks because... Okay. We got a carved figurine, ancient coins. So this is all new to me. I didn't know about a second form of currency. But I'll take it. And the, did they just count as like regular coins? I don't see a stack of them. Maybe I can just use them. Yeah, no, they're here. Okay, anyway. Great. Well, everybody, we finished the first one. And now, after that's done, I think we can just go ahead and go back to... there might be another thug. It didn't cross it off the list, so I might need to explore a little bit, but we just killed a bunch of thugs. And we got the note, and we can go back to Crom and tell him the good news. I hope you all are still finding this series to be fun, like I am, and I'm excited to see more in the game. And just as always, if you notice anything new as you're playing Stoneshard with the update, and can share any advice about things they have changed, whether it's about crafting or any other changes, that would be awesome, so I can continue to learn, you know, exactly what has changed and how to get better at the game. Thank you so much, everyone. Take care.